What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan 1 here, and today we're back again with another Transformer figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Leader Class Astro-train. Now, before we get into this video, I have to make something very clear here. There's a few things I don't like with this figure, and part of this is a little bit of a rant on this. More specifically about this back piece, which we will get into in a minute. Like, for example, it's in its superior mode. Like, the train is just the more superior of the mode, and it just, yeah, this is the better of the two looking mode, like, of the two vehicle modes that he transforms into. So, anywho, so this is Leader Class Astro-train. And when I first got this, I was pretty excited. I thought, hooray, I finally have me an Astro-train. I apologize for the table shaking. Something underneath me was moving, so I had to fix that. But anywho, Astro-train here is probably one of my favorite Decepticons. More specifically because he's a triple changer, and mainly the reason why I'm happy he turns into a steam engine is because on a typical day on my channel, we usually go and talk about Thomas the Tank Engine. Usually. So, he is a scale, and they're both made by roughly the same companies. This is Takara and Hasbro, this is Takara Tomy. So, you're getting what you pick. Well, they're both Takara Tomy, really. So, anywho, there's your scale, at least with him. Here he is with Robot Mode Cyclonus, Voyager class specifically. That's another thing we'll get into. Kingdom Galvatron. And last but not least, here he is with Scourge. So we talked about some of the steam engine, and like I said, on a typical day, we typically talk about Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. If you're a fan of Thomas the Tank Engine and you have this, I don't know the locomotive's name specifically, but this is the basis for Hero, I want to say. So I was told that on Facebook, so don't take this to heart, because I don't know if that's the true basis of this mold. So I can't confirm or deny it, so nothing else to be said. It comes in a very nice dark purplish looking color, and I gotta say, it's not the worst thing in the world, but there are a few things that have some issues. Like this side here does not want to tab in correctly, at least on my copy, on both sides, and it's off balance. So, yeah. And I don't know how to fix that, and I don't really want to, nor do I really care to, so it's not going to kill me. So, yeah. So, now that we've talked about the train, let's talk about the tender, or as everybody else on YouTube who has reviewed this guy, they seem to think this is the caboose, and unfortunately, it's not the caboose, okay? This is not caboose, brake fan, whatever you want to call it. This is a tender. And the reason I can tell you it's a tender is because it's got bogies on here, on the bottom. And otherwise it wouldn't look like a freaking train tender. So, yeah. Anyways, to tell the difference, bogies right here on the bottom, or faux bogies, I suppose you could say, and no bogies on this side. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it for this thing in its tender mode and how he is in his steam engine mode. We'll come back to this in a moment. So this is essentially the train mode, and we're going to turn this thing into a NASA space shuttle, which does not look very good, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So to transform him back into, or not back into his NASA space shuttle mode, you're going to want to take these wheels and push them up. Take the side engine, the side rods and all that stuff, take that, rotate that up just a hair, just enough to get it out of the way. And then you can take this and bring it back. You can bring the back pieces back. It has to be flat like this, and then you bring those back up. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring this up, fold this back, and fold that down. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to split this whole section here, and then we're going to split it again at the trains, at the firebox at the front, or not firebox, the boiler. Oh, before you do that though, you're going to want to, after you split it, you're going to want to flip these pieces in. Should have mentioned that. You're going to want to flip those pieces in, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side and rotate this around, and then kind of flip him on his back after we've put the funnel back in for some reason. And then we're going to close all of this up. This is the part that gives me trouble sometimes. So there's that. You want it essentially looking like that, and then you can accordion all of this back, and it'll all clip in together. So you have that nice little, all the ratchety joints are clickety-clickety. And then you're going to then take these side panels here, flip them up, and then we're going to take this and we're going to bring these side panels back up, just like that, and we're going to leave it for now. Then we're going to come to the back here, and we're going to untab these. This line here goes right into that tab slot, and we're going to bring that down, flip out the one, bring it down, and then we're going to take this, close it up, and then make sure all the panels and stuff are all lined up correctly. Fold out the fin, and there you have half of a NASA space shuttle. It looks great all the way from there to there, and that's where it ends. This is where I come into that little bit of a rant here. Okay, I could live if you had sacrificed the tender to maybe make a shell that would go over this, and it would turn into a shield. For all I care, that would be 10 times better than what this is, because this is ridiculous. So I'm going to put him off to the side for the moment, and we're going to turn this into his shuttle launching pad. So, bring that up, take these out, open them up, fold this down. You can take out all the weapons. This one always gives me trouble sometimes. And then we're going to do the same thing here, and do same thing over here. And then we're going to take this piece, bring it up, and no, we don't rotate that yet. That's for robot mode. Bring that down, fold this up, make sure all of these pieces are flat on the ground. I've seen some people where they do this. I don't care, really. Truth be told, this is the dumbest mode for this thing, so I keep this up like that because it kind of completes the look a little bit. Doesn't sit flush, but I don't really care about this piece. That's not why I bought it. So, and then with these 3 thruster packs, you're going to put them into this slot here, or these 3 slots. And it's one of those things where you got to get it lined up just right. Okay, and there's 1, there's 2, okay. And then we have that like so. And then there you have the space shuttle pad thing that doesn't even fit on my camera. So, yeah. Yeah, it's bigger. So, yeah. So, comparisons are going to be a little difficult because I can't really keep it all on camera. So, we're just going to remove this piece here. And we're just going to put them like that. And even still, that doesn't work out. But I don't really care at this point. I'm in it to win it. So, anywho, here he is next to Kingdom Cyclonus. Now, as you can see, Cyclonus is about the same height as the jet mode, or the space shuttle mode, whatever you want to call it. Here's with Scourge, 10 times shorter than Cyclonus. And finally, Gouger. Hooray. So, yeah. Alright, so now that's gone down, we can begin. After we get rid of all of these comparisons that are in my way. Give me just a second. Sorry, I had to clear out some space to make sure that I could do this on camera. So, to turn this dude into a robot, it's essentially just fold everything back in and let it be. So, anywho. We're going to start off with this piece. Well, the instructions tell you to lift this up and angle it inward. Actually, we won't start with this piece because this will get in the way. So what we're going to do is, we'll start with the back first. That one gives me a pain in the butt. Pull this jet piece down, and we can get started. This all is accordion, so it'll come down like so. And there is these two slots, and there's these pieces here, like way back here. I'm gonna go into those slots right there, and this slot will this peg will go into that slot as well. So, but just bring it down. Make sure you fold these out just a hair, and it'll all sit flush for the moment. Now to work on the legs. So the legs are same. Split it. Bring it down. Make sure it all clips into place. Make sure the legs are split first, and then you're going to. The instructions tell you to angle it inward and have it sitting like that, but I really don't care, so I'm going to just leave it like that. And we're almost done with the legs. We're going to untab this. The peg goes into this hole. Really not a huge fan of it, and then this piece is going to go right into there. So, yeah, this one's is where it's going to be like a little bit of a pain in the butt. You're going to have to do a little bit of forcing, but it's not a whole ton of pressure. So, the figure will survive. And do the same thing on the other side. And make sure everything all stays flush, like so, and we're done. Then we're going to fold the front skirts down. I'm going to pretty much fold this all back up like it was in train mode. Fold that down, fold these out to the side, make sure you hear them little thoop, and there you go. Make sure the backpack's all stabled in. Bring down the arms so you hear a nice click, and then you're going to unfold the elbows, rotate it at the shoulder, and flip out the hand. And do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that nice thoop slash click or whatever. And then we're going to flip out the hands. And there you have Astro-train in his robot mode. Now, something I have to make very clear here about this robot mode. This robot mode is amazing just as it is, okay? And here's the next piece about this that I'm not too thrilled about, and made me seriously almost commit Sudoku with a lot of. I had to run a lot of numbers for this thing. It was not fun. Fortunately, I was able to haggle it down. But this is way better than what Hasbro decided to do with this next part. This becomes you undo these from the tender. Make sure those are, and then pretty much fold this thing back into a box, really, and then we're going to put that there. And nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to take this, rotate it, and make sure it comes down like that. There are slots here that are tab pieces are going to go in those slot holes right there, and just do that. And then we're going to bring this whole thing and pretty much turn it back into a tender. And now this piece is done. And so now to put everything on the figure, take this, and there's ports on the bottom of his feet like all Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom have. I'm going to Push it down into that on the hole on the peg there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the other foot. Push it in. And there you go. And then we're going to take this mess and plug it onto his back. This is what I don't like about this figure. This figure, with this configuration that Hasbro and Takara thought was fan-freaking-tastic, decided that it was... There's nothing else to be... Oh, now it decides to hold up. But if you touch it, yeah, it just falls not like it. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. They made this thing too freaking back heavy. And it's not like this thing serves any purpose in robot mode or either. Because, I mean, I thought maybe this would have been something. But even that got so dumb, I couldn't even finish anything. That's the only configuration that sort of really works with. But I don't... This is where it gives me trouble. Don't like breaking figures either. Come on, there. Jeez. Ugh. They say Transformers are not good for your health. I think they're really good, especially when they've got crap on their back that does not decide to move. The only thing that really works with this is the feet. And the reason why they inflated the freaking price of this whole set. That, and that. This, I would have been fine with 2 weapons and no tender. To sacrifice the jet mode, I would be fine. I would have been fine with that. But this mess here, why would you need this? No, there is no legitimate reason that I can find that this would really be useful in robot mode. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. It doesn't make sense. So... yeah. So this, throwing that off to the side, and let's take a look at the guns and the accessories real quick. This one, I believe this is just a straight up larger version of the G1 Astro-train. I'm not 100% certain on that, so don't quote me. And this one is essentially just the other side of that, so... in train mode and shuttle mode, you can customize it with whatever you want to do with these things. I personally don't need them, but for the sake of the review, we're going to plug the guns down. These ones on his legs. At least this is a configuration I kind of like. And then we're going to give him. Nope, wrong hand. Give him this minigun right here, and then you're going to take these rocket pods, put them here on figure's forearms if you can get them on, and there you have that one. And then this one goes right here, and that is that's a nicer version of this than the other garbage. So, now we'll get down to some comparisons after he's been armored up. So, here he is next to Cyclonus. Put this out of the way. Yeah, Cyclonus. Scourge. As you can see, this is clearly Voyager class sized, even with the armaments that it has. There's no legitimate reason for this to be anything. So, yeah. So there he is next to Scourge. And finally, good old Purple Nurgle. So, now... Here's the thing that you guys, I'll let you guys decide, because this is obviously you're spending your own money, not me. But I really don't think this figure needs those armored pieces. I personally would rather just have Astro-train in his robot mode, because it doesn't make sense to have him in this form, nor does it make sense to have him in the NASA form, or the NASA Space Shuttle form, because It just doesn't. There's just nothing there. So I can't really say it's good, but I can't really say it's bad either, because this thing is freaking cool. I mean, it's definitely G1 Astro-train through and through. I'm just not pleased with all this. If the reason for inflating the price was to give him a space shuttle piece and like 5 weapons that really didn't need to be there, this was not necessary. Like, that wasn't necessary. None of this is necessary. You could have given him 2 guns and a shield, and I would have been fine with that, because the shield could double as the cover for the shuttle mode. I could live with that. Unfortunately, this has been a recurring trend on a lot of people's collections and review videos, is that this, if they had lowered this to a Voyager class instead of making it leader class with all of this junk, I would honestly have purchased this way long before. I would have purchased this a long time ago. But because they decided to, I don't know what they're trying to do with this. I don't know what point they're trying to give us with this, but it's ridiculous. Hasbro, please take our concerns into mind, and do not inflate the price just because you have to have your plastic bill for the month. Who cares? Get that crap out of the way. This is better. I will take this figure over this figure plus this. This would have been a great idea on its own. This. So, yeah. Anywho, this is Thomas Fan of One saying, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be sure that you never miss one of these videos, or my goof videos, or my review, or any of my reviews. So, do that. Don't forget to check out iStar552, Bravely GG, and Take Along Productions, as I know they do some pretty entertaining stuff. iStar552 is meh, but I know the other two are doing fun stuff. So, anywho, this is Thomas Fan of One saying, don't forget to keep playing with your toys. Don't forget it.